Hi, I'm John Arana, and this is Karina San Martin.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And we are here once again at The Drop.
Yes.
Dropping truth and bringing life.
Yes.
Today we're standing.
Yeah, if you're watching, we're standing.
And you can see how short she is.
Yes, I love it. It's great.
But good things come in little packages.
Little tiny packages. Yes. Yeah. No. We're happy to be here today, and just to continue to talk about. We've been talking about like being spiritually fit and how important it is, and why it's important, and we've talked about all these different elements. And I encourage you, if you haven't heard the last like 3 or 4 episodes, go give those a listen, because we've talked about like some really important things that will help you stay spiritually fit and healthy.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of emphasis on body health, which we are all about too, and it's super important. But I think we should put just as much emphasis on our spiritual health as well, because we are spiritual, and we need to be healthy, and we need to be intentional with that part of our lives as well. So we're just going to keep talking about some of those elements today to help us with that.
These are some of the practices that are universal to get engaged in your spiritual life and grow. And if you're a Christian, then even more so.
Right.
We talked about, learning how to pray. We talked about learning how to do spiritual meditation. We talked about the importance of reading the Bible,
studying the
Bible, the Word of God, and so on and so forth. These are all fantastic. Today we're going to talk about a very buzzword that's going on out there a lot, and then we're going to talk about fasting.
Yeah, fasting.
And intermittent fasting. I mean, it's a big thing. A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people have a lot of questions about it, but it's also a spiritual practice.
Yes.
It's also a spiritual discipline. And I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about it, concerning their health and how do you do it, how long do you do it, and so on and so forth. So we're going to try to answer, some of those questions. We may not answer all of them.
Right, yeah.
But we're gonna answer some. So we're going to start with the challenge.
The challenge of fasting. Oh man. I honestly, if I can be just super honest, which I like to try to do, I've always had a really big challenge with fasting.
Yeah.
Just because I love food so much. And
Join the club.
I know you do.
Join the club.
I know. And I'm always like, fasting, and it's interesting the impact that it does have on you when you do it for spiritual reasons.
Absolutely.
Obviously there's health impacts too, but it's like when the reason is for a spiritual purpose to go deeper or whatever it might be. I think there's a lot of different reasons people fast for spiritual reasons. Hands down, anytime I do that for a spiritual purpose, I always go to a deeper place spiritually.
Exactly.
And it's funny how that works.
It's kind of like it sharpens your sword.
It does. It does. So there's so many benefits to it. Both physically and spiritually. And if you are one of those people that struggle with it because of your love for food, I encourage you to, start small. You don't have to fast all the meals all the time.
That's right.
You can say, okay, I'm going to fast breakfast or I'm going to fast bread or sugars
Especially,
or whatever.
I think one of the things I want to say, because it's my thing.
Yeah.
My weakness. I like fast food.
Yeah.
I like not all of them, but I like to go in. I like the taste. I'm a salty person.
They make it so that we'll love it.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
but a lot of that stuff has a lot of chemicals.
Oh, yeah.
And
so true.
when I'm gonna get ready for a fast, one of the first things I have to do is start cutting back or totally eliminate fast food.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say, when I'm about to start a fast, I go and I get a burger. I get that you pack it in.
I might do that too
before you know it's coming, right?
I might go in and say, man, this is my last hurrah for 3 or 4 days or whatever.
That's funny. Get
my last fix. But no, because unless I start a little bit of a cleansing, man, oh boy, that's hard, man. Because I feel the pain in my stomach and the rumbling and all that kind of stuff.
That's so real.
So it's a challenge based on the type of food we consume in this country. You know, it is a challenge, but it could be done. I mean, throughout the Bible, this was a custom of a lot of people. A lot of people fasted on a regular basis, you know, and basically fasting is to go without food or any nutrition through liquids. So it's basically drinking water. But a lot of people that there's different types of fast. So we're going to go into that. But the bottom line is fasting is trying to minimize the calorie intake in terms of your body. But a lot of people in the Bible use fasting to draw closer to God. You know, and so in practical terms, what's been your experience with your fasting?
Well, in practical terms, I've done different types of fasts, like, you know, where I would say, okay, I'm gonna fast TV. And instead of watching TV, the time that I would spend, you know, I'm going to spend a portion of that time praying or, you know, whatever, practicing some of these spiritual disciplines. And then I do really well when I decide to fast with fasting breakfast. And I think that my experience is I always try, I'm not always super successful, but I do try to make a connection between the decision to, like, give something up with filling myself with something in place of that. You know, like, okay, I'm giving up this meal and what I'm going to do, giving up this physical thing, I want to try to fill it with something different spiritually that maybe I don't do on a regular basis, you know. So whether it's that I'll spend more time or I'll read more deeper or I'll study more or I'll find a book that's about a topic.
What do you feel that does for you, spiritually speaking?
So I think what I feel that does for me is that it kind of like opens up my, I guess it would be like my spirit mind to feel like I can take
your spiritual senses.
Like that I can take more in, you know. And then sometimes it does just simply like show me how, because sometimes I will get grumpy because I do really like food and I have a hard time giving up meals. And sometimes it just is the simple thing of showing me like how much I depend sometimes on like these physical things to satisfy. Versus like being able to find a spiritual satisfaction with that too. You know, it's a discipline. It's not like oh my gosh, I love fasting. At least for me, I never feel that. You know, but it's one of those disciplines that you do because it's good for you, not necessarily because it's easy to do.
I think for me, I agree with all that. I mean, it's just my experience the same way. I feel that a lot of people mentality is, I'm gonna fast because I want God to do this, or I'm gonna fast because I want that promotion or whatever. And I think that might be like a fringe benefit, but you don't really fast for those purposes. You fast for the purpose of surrendering. You fast for the purpose of drawing closer to God, sharpening your spiritual senses to get more connected with God. And a lot of people in the Bible fasted to basically humble themselves before God, you know, to recognize how easy it is to be self-sufficient and take care of all your needs and forget about God. And I think this is a spiritual form in which you start realizing, you know, wow, I do depend on God, and I'm glad He's there, and I'm glad He's loving, and so on and so forth. But you come to give something, you come to surrender something, and that's the heart of it.
That's good clarity right there.
That's the heart of it, and I think that God honors that because our spiritual senses begin to get sharper. You know, our abilities.
And
so
for sure.
There's a lot of questions that people have. And especially people that maybe have diabetes or people that have high blood pressure, you know, people that have illnesses, they have tons of questions about, should I fast? Should I not fast? If I fast, what kind of fast? How long? What do I include? What do I not include? And so we're going to try to just talk about that a little bit. Okay. The first one is, how long should I do a fast? And that depends. That depends on a lot of things. Depends on you. Depends what kind of fast you're doing. And we're going to talk about that. But overall, a lot of people are saying that, you know, you should consider limiting your fasting to 24 hours. No more than that.
Now that's specifically, just to create clarity, that's specifically, is that specifically talking about like if you're fasting all meals for a day and you're only drinking, you know, like liquids or water, that you shouldn't go more than 24 hours.
We're going to address that in the different types of fast. So that would be called a full fast.
A full fast.
So you're no food, no orange juice. No.
So the 24.
Nothing but just strictly water.
So, but the 24 hours, is that no matter what you fast, or
no matter when you fast?
It's just a guide. It's just like a guide.
But if you're doing a full fast, which is no food, no liquids, only water, they recommend don't do it more than 24 hours. You know, because body wise, depending on your health also, you know, so. That's just a guideline. You know?
Of course.
The other thing is, which part of fasting is hardest? It's always hardest, in my opinion, my experience. The first day is the hardest because my stomach is saying, I'm used to food. Give me some food.
Oh yeah, your body definitely gets on like this schedule of you know, needing your meals and getting used to your meals at certain times. And I think the first day is definitely the hardest to readjust. And
I realize, man, how much I depend on food.
Oh my gosh, it's I mean, it's kind of like this thing where I think for me, fasting has always been like a realization of like, okay, you know, you have this physical side of your being, and food is a really big satisfaction thing, you know, at least for me, you know,
culture,
like
everywhere.
It's like,
I mean, look at all the stuff we do around food.
Oh yeah, everything.
We have meetings around food.
We
have birthdays around food. We have anniversaries around food. We have holidays around food. Everything's around food.
And even like, and it's like, even like as a mom, like there's definitely like this thing, all the moms know about it, and there's some dads that like to do it too, but it's like even going shopping at Target, when I have a coffee, it just feels so much better, you know, like it just feels so much better. And there's like so many things that we do physically that bring us so much pleasure that when you start to take away some of those physical things for a specific thing, you realize like, wow, like I have a pretty big dependency on a physical satisfaction.
Yeah, because it feels good.
Right, where I think the Lord, you know, with fasting for me, the Lord always really shows me, I want you to feel that with my spirit. You know, like that satisfaction, you know, with my spirit. So I think the first day, like you said, is really hard because it's like, it's almost like this shock that you put yourself into. But if you can get through that first day, you'll make it.
One of the things that I'm always reminded when I fast is the importance of having self-control or authority over your really appetites. You know, because the body craves food, sugar or whatever, you know, and fasting is also a good way of developing that discipline of self-control.
For sure.
Of telling your body, no, you're not going to have that right now because you don't really need it. You're just used to it. You know, and I think it's a great tool as well to develop some of that self-control. The next question that people ask is, what are the 3 types of fasting? So there's different types of fasting, like we were talking at the beginning. So the first one is, why don't you read those?
Okay, the first one it says here is calorie restriction fast, which is, I'm assuming, is basically you're trying to reduce your caloric intake, and so you're fasting a meal or 2 meals or whatever. The second one is macronutrient restriction fast. No idea what that is. I'll let you explain that.
Don't eat anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the big picture.
Okay, and then seasonal eating.
Yeah, and a lot of in the Bible, a lot of times they talked about Daniel and his friends who did a Daniel fast, which is all vegetables.
Yeah, only vegetables.
So that's another type of fast. Only eat vegetables. You know, some people do. I'm gonna fast Snicker bars because I love them so much. You know, other people fast TV. Like
so that's a seasonal fasting. Like
those are different things that are personal to you that need and require some attention.
A big thing for me that I've done a few times, as I've said, and it's like it's a big deal for me to fast sugar and sweets. You know, like if I decide to do that, it's like, I'm like, am I really ready for that? You know, like, can I, I'm like, can I really do that? And can I really commit to this? Am I ready for that?
Right.
And I've only probably done it successfully maybe 2 times, you know, because, but
at least
like,
you're attempting it.
Yes, but for my point is that like, for me, that's a big sacrifice. Whereas for somebody who doesn't have a sweet tooth, that may not be a big sacrifice. So I think it also is about like finding what resonates with you as, you know, between you and God, if you're doing it for spiritual reasons of, you know, what am I going to give up that actually means something to me? You know, like, honestly, if you asked me to give up meat, I'd be like, okay, no big deal.
Right.
You know, like, I don't care. I could probably be a vegetarian for life, you know? And so I think it's like, don't give up something that's easy is what I'm saying. Because then it's kind of like not.
It's like for me, and your mom and I are different. You know, for her to fast dessert, forget it. And
got you, Mom.
She rather not eat and have dessert. Now, I'm the opposite. I'd rather not have dessert and eat. So to me, fasting dessert, that's no big deal.
You're like, sure, I can do that.
But fasting the actual meal, that's different.
Oh my gosh.
You know? So,
that's so funny.
But a lot of people, we're going to go ahead and go to the next one. What can I drink while I'm fasting?
Okay.
I mean, you could drink black coffee. It won't affect your fast. No sugar, no milk. You know.
Right.
Anything that is like unsweetened tea. You know, again, you could use that, and of course water. You know, because those are things that are not going to change your metabolism. And so, and they're not going to promote more hunger. So you want to be careful about that. How much weight can I lose? For those people that are fasting to lose weight.
Oh my God.
Hey, believe me, I've done that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've all done that. And I honestly, I do that every now and then. I'll do like, you know, a week or 2 weeks of where I do the intermittent fasting of not having breakfast and I just eat between like 12 and 8.
It works.
And it does work, but I also notice, and every body is different, you know, like, and I do notice that it really sets my day like different. It's weird. It's weird. Like when I wake up and I start eating immediately, by 12 I feel a little more lethargic as to where if I don't eat anything until 12, a lot of times I do feel more energized.
More sharper.
And that's how it affects my body. You know, it might affect, you know, so I think too, finding, if you are doing it for weight loss, finding your body's rhythm is important too.
It's very important. I think one of the things that they say is that you could lose 1.5 pounds for every 72-hour period that you fast.
Oh, write that down, everybody. Do the math.
1.5 pounds for every 72-hour fast. But when I was reading this, I was saying, is that all? It ain't worth it to me, man.
No, but you know what? I saw this thing the other day, and it blew my mind because, like, you know how, like, I don't know, a lot of people say like, oh, I gained 2 pounds, and it's like, oh no, that's water weight, you know, and it's true. And I saw this doctor, and he had like this little video, and he had in his hands, like, for those of you who are watching, you can see, but it was like this big of like fat. and he said of body fat.
Okay,
of body fat, and he said this is 2 pounds.
2 pounds
of body fat, he said those of you who think you're going up and down of body fat for 2 pounds, he said you're not. And he said this takes you a long time to gain this 2 pounds of fat. So if you think about it, 1.5 pounds for 72 hours, that's actually a good amount.
Pretty good. It's a good return.
When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yes, thank you. This doctor just validated me so much. That extra 2 pounds is all water. It is not fat.
All water.
I didn't gain 2 pounds of fat overnight, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny, man.
So yeah, 1.5 pounds over 72 hours. That's pretty good if you can commit to that.
One of the things that a lot of people ask is, are there any risk if I fast? Am I going to put my health in danger? And a lot of what they're saying is, as long as you stay within the range of 8 to 16 hours, you don't have any problems. You don't have any risk.
Yeah.
It's when you begin to do things that are outside of the norm, like, oh, I'm going to fast without water. Well, good luck on that.
No,
that's dangerous.
Yes.
And or some people say, well, I'm going to fast just water longer than 2 or 3 days. Okay, well, you better be under your doctor's care and make sure that's okay for you. So you have to be careful. You have to, kind of do a little due diligence.
Yeah,
that's why we're talking about this. A lot of people claim that the most successful way of fasting is to have one meal every 8 hours.
Oh, okay.
So what that mean is that you can get up in the morning, okay, have a meal and not eat for the next 8 hours and have another meal. Or if it's easier for you to fast breakfast, then you don't have any breakfast, you eat your meal at 6 o'clock and then you don't eat for the rest of the day. So that they're saying out there that that's the most successful way of fasting, and it produces the greatest amount of health in your body.
That's cool.
So again, it depends on your metabolism, and it depends on what's easy for you to practice.
Right. That's cool. That's
and
very cool.
I think that's so. Another question is, what time should I start my fast?
Right.
Well, that depends on the individual.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Do I want to start my fast for breakfast, or do I want to have a breakfast and not eat lunch? Or so it depends. But a lot of people have to make a decision based on what works for them.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think too, it depends on your goal of fasting. Like if you're doing it for like a spiritual, deepening or whatever, I think that if you give a spiritual purpose to it, like if you say, okay, I'm going to fast breakfast so that instead I'm going to spend more time reading or praying or whatever. Or if I usually read my Bible at night, I'm going to fast dinner and I'm going to go in my room and I'm going to, whatever work. Or on my lunch break, I'm going to fast and I'm going to go to the car, or I'm going to walk around and listen to the word or whatever. Give it a spiritual purpose, because then I think that also does something to us, and it says, okay, I'm giving this up, but I'm filling that moment with this spiritual feeding, and it's helping me to stay disciplined with
it just takes it to a higher purpose.
Right, exactly.
It takes it to a greater cause than just I'm going to fast to lose weight.
Right, yeah.
Or to be healthier.
Yeah, and you could do both.
Which are good reasons, but if you take it to the next level and you add some spiritual value, man, your spiritual life is going to be able to be strengthened and increase. So anyhow, we're really excited about the subject because food sometimes has a hold on us.
Oh, man.
But next episode, you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about 8 health benefits of fasting. And a lot of people think, well, man, I can't fast because I'm a diabetic, or I can't fast because I have low blood sugar. And but you're gonna find out that there's some powerful physical health-wise benefits to fasting. And we're gonna kind of talk a little bit about that and kind of give you some more information and then apply it to the spiritual life. But anyhow, thank you for being with us today at The Drop.
Yes.
And I hope that you share this with somebody, because I know somebody needs this kind of information. So thank you so much. God bless you. We'll see you at the next episode at The Drop.
Have a great week.